Now, the authorities in Ukraine say a Russian drone has hit a petrol station in the city of Kharkiv, killing 7 people. The regional governor says 3 of them were children. The attack caused a fire which spread to a nearby residential building. At least 50 people were evacuated from their homes. Kharkiv has been targeted more frequently by Russian forces in recent weeks. Well, let's go live to Sarah Rainsford, who's in Kyiv for us. So, Sarah, what is the latest from the scene?
Well, the latest is that the authorities are trying to clarify exactly what was targeted and what was hit. They originally said it was a petrol station. We now understand that it was an oil depot. So we're just trying to get a bit more clarity on exactly that detail. But certainly what we know is what it caused. And it caused a huge fire that spread down a residential street. 15 houses were destroyed by fire and a number of people were killed. Now, as you mentioned, that included some children. 7 people were killed, 3 of them were children in one family. Now, as we have got details from the authorities there, they've described fuel mixing, essentially diesel and petrol mixing, and the local head of police there has called it a hellish lava that then flooded down the street, catching fire and causing such devastation and such loss of life. And these children are all from one family. They all died in their own home as they were trying to escape from the fire. So it was caused by a Russian drone. We do know from Kharkiv that it is so close to the Russian border. It is extremely difficult there for air defense systems to shoot down drones, to shoot down missiles. They come in very, very quickly, and the danger is extremely real for families, for civilians living in that area.
Showing some dramatic pictures of that fire that engulfed the residential area that you were talking about. The Kharkiv has come under quite a lot of attack recently, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, right at the beginning of this war, life was pretty awful in Kharkiv. It was under very, very sustained attack because the Russian forces were extremely close. They were trying to take the city. We were there at the time. I mean, a lot of people were living underground. In the last year or so, life began to be safer. People began to breathe a little more easily. The intensity of attacks had decreased, and things were sort of returning to a kind of weird normality. But right now, certainly, people are much more nervous again. There's been a couple of waves of huge waves of missile attacks. Lots of people have been hurt and injured and killed, and people have begun to move underground again. Not like at the beginning of the war, but still life is adapting. And we have seen children at school on the metro. There are now purpose-built classrooms on the metro underground. There's also, in fact, an entire school being built underground so that children can begin to live with the fact that they're next door to Russia, extremely close to Russia, and that this war, which is already nearly 2 years long, doesn't have any obvious end in sight. And people are going to have to live with that danger, they think, for a very long time. They hope not, but certainly they're beginning to adapt to that possibility.